Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jillian and here we talk about manifestation, mindset work, and yoga. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so and give me a big thumbs up on this video if you enjoy my content. Let's get right into today's video. What is self-concept? Self-concept is how you view yourself in this world, where you feel your placement is in this life, who you believe you are, how you see yourself, and how you feel others see yourself. It's a combination of all of these different ways. Some examples of self-concept. There is a negative self-concept and there's more of a positive self-concept. You could really tell somebody's self-concept by how they talk about themselves, how they talk about other people, and what is reflecting or what is manifesting in your life at that current moment. A positive self-concept is somebody who believes they are worthy and that they are chosen and that they are number one in this world, that people show up for them exactly the way they want. They feel they're lucky. They feel great things happen to them. They are expecting the best out of situations. If there is anything that involves what we consider competition, they know that they are going to win or that they are going to come in first place because they are chosen, they are a priority, and they see themselves as the best and only option. A negative self-concept would be that you always feel like you're on the outs, you don't feel chosen, you feel like people always maybe screw you over and the worst things always happen to you. You're always expecting the absolute unluckiest situations to occur in your life, and you can feel left out and you could feel like you don't fit in. If you find yourself talking negatively about other people and how they're showing up in your life, then that also has to do with your self-concept. It's usually people that talk the most gossip. That is actually the product of a low self-concept. And we aren't perfect, and we all definitely talk some drama, I'm sure, in our life once in a while. But if you notice people who really tend to always talk negatively about other people, it's really a reflection of how you feel about yourself, and it's also because you feel that's how other people show up around you in your life. If you have a positive self-concept, you actually are going to avoid using any negative language when talking about other people. Do you actually need self-concept to manifest? This is something that I feel goes around in the manifesting community quite often, and there's a lot of different opinions about it. But when you think about the question, it doesn't make sense, because if self-concept is how we perceive ourselves in the world and how others perceive us and our placement in the world, how we feel we fit in the world, then of course our perception is what creates reality. So everything that we are perceiving is simply a mirror to who we are. This is really important to know. Self-concept isn't something outside of ourselves. It's not like a technique. Self-concept is manifestation. Self-concept is the reflection of what is manifesting in front of your face. I definitely did not have a great self-concept growing up. In certain areas of my life, I did feel like I had a higher self-concept, but then in other areas of my life, I didn't have a high self-concept. For instance, with basketball, I had a self-concept from very young that I was a great basketball player, and that's how I saw myself. But it's interesting that once you hit a certain level, you start to really understand how you view yourself in the world. And I feel like when I was younger, up until maybe college level, like I was able to have more of a surface level perception of myself. I feel like I'm really good and da 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 da, but I did hit a roadblock at one point. Anything that wasn't showing me evidence that I'm worthy or chosen really threw me off, and it brought me down a spiraling path of anxiety and depression. So this is why working on your self-concept is very important. If you don't have a strong sense of self, your perception of who you are in this world and how others show up, you will blow like the wind and you will believe everything everybody else says about you. And if things fall through for you, you're going to truly believe in those things. That's why we're always talking about how circumstances don't matter, your inner negative emotions don't matter, and anything you are perceiving as negative doesn't matter. And this is all part of the self-concept. So once I took the time to really truly work on my self-concept, everything changed in my life. When we think about working on our self-concept, people think that it is a chore. And self-concept, the way you view yourself, should not be a chore. And if you are viewing self-concept as a chore, then it shows you how you prioritize everything else in the world but yourself, how you perceive yourself. If perception is what creates reality and all of your manifestations, and we can't perceive ourselves as a high value, really amazing human being that gets what they want, that sees themselves as able to achieve their goals no matter what's in front of their eyes, then how can we possibly move to that reality? How can we get ourselves there if that is not a priority? This should be your number one goal. You should be loving to talk amazing to yourself and see yourself in this positive, amazing light and perceive others as seeing you this way as well. There is nothing but amazing, positive, magnetizing energy that comes with wanting to continuously put yourself first and work on your self-concept. And because you are putting yourself first, it will reflect out in the 3D world, because what you do for yourself, that is what mirrors out in that 3D world. When you start working on your self-concept, you start to drop all the labels of feeling like it is cocky to talk good about yourself. It is cocky to think that you are the best and that you are chosen and there's nobody that compares to you, because it is the truth. For people that think this is conceited or cocky, we really need to turn our head to them and not pay attention to that, because eventually they will catch up and they will see that it is not cocky. It is the way we should all be living. This has to do with feeling comfortable. We feel comfortable being negative because of the society that we have grown up in. It is more comfortable. We feel like people will accept us more if we side with them on all the negative things. When you break out of that world, you will enter into your own powerful, strong world, and you will also manifest higher versions of those people to meet you where you're at. Working on your self-concept, ways that I would do it is literally saying the affirmation, I have an amazing self-concept. This is literally one of the affirmations that I continuously repeated over and over and over again, is I have an amazing self-concept. I have an amazing self-concept. I have a perfect self-concept. My self-concept is perfect. That is how simple manifestation is, and that's why repeating affirmations, it's so powerful. You don't need to do anything but believe that you have a great self-concept. Every morning I would wake up and journal all self-concept affirmations. I am beautiful. I am so worthy. Everybody loves me. Everybody adores me. I always get what I want. I am so chosen. Putting myself first, choosing myself, giving me the love that I deserve, seeing myself as the best, seeing myself as chosen, seeing myself as adored and wanted and everybody's friend. And if I want to get the job, then I could get the job. If I want to win a contest, I will win that contest. If I want to win a game, I will win a game. Because self-concept is changing our perspective, then we have to change our brain. We have to change our mindset. We have to change it from something that views us as unworthy and unchosen to chosen, which will essentially change all relationship dynamics that you have. When we talk about states of being, when you have a lower self-concept versus a higher self-concept, They're two completely different realities, and you operate completely different. You could have the same set of circumstances happening to you, but you have trained your mind to see everything as working in your favor. And that is essentially what working on your self-concept is. When you're not used to talking to yourself in this way, it is so important to start implementing this new self-talk. Also, when we're viewing circumstances, something that I did, I would get excited when I would see negative circumstances pop up in my reality. I absolutely loved changing my mindset from thinking that negative things can happen to me to seeing something negative and changing my mindset about it, which is just a decision. It means I'm seeing something that I don't like, and let's say it was my friends not inviting me out somewhere. And I would see that and I would change my mindset, thinking about what my beliefs are and my assumptions about how people show up for me in the world and how I feel about myself. And I would literally script out and write down affirmations that were the opposite of what I was seeing. So my friends love me. My friends invite me everywhere. I am so loved. I am so adored. Everybody wants to be around me. I am so magnetizing. People are just drawn to me. They are addicted to me. They think I am the funniest, sweetest, most amazing person to be around. And eventually, when you get to a point, you don't even need to write it down. So I got to a point where my mind would automatically be programmed to go straight to the positive, and how that's not the case. And everything around you changes because everything is a mirror to you. And that's when you don't need circumstances and people and things to change around you anymore. And time becomes irrelevant because you know who you are, you stand firm in that, and that is when people show up for you and your desires show up for you. I also categorize self-concept in the self-love category because if you perceive yourself as amazing and chosen, then the natural action that you would take without thinking about it would be, okay, I'm going to do this self-loving act for myself. So it's not actually the self-loving act that is self-concept work, but it's because you see yourself in a certain way. That is why you're going to take an action. And that's why we're never heavily focused on actions, because who you are being in this moment will determine the natural actions that you will take in your life. If you believe somebody isn't showing up for you or they're not treating you properly, the next logical step that you will take as a product of your self-concept and who you believe you are will be not going towards that person. And it doesn't necessarily have to do with the person, but it has to do with anything that doesn't feel good, you will not go towards. Because I believe I am so worthy and amazing, nothing's gonna come into my bubble that isn't positive and amazing and great. So this is really my view of self-concept, and everything that I'm telling you is through my experience. You will continuously work on your self-concept forever until you are no longer here anymore. So once you start really working on your self-concept, it becomes a part of your being. It becomes part of you. And this truly becomes super addicting. When you start to feel super good about yourself, then you never want to stop working on these aspects of your life. You never want to stop talking to yourself kindly. Please give me a big thumbs up on this video if you enjoyed it, and leave me comments down below. I absolutely love reading the comments and answering and replying to everybody. Hit the notification button if you want to see when I go live and when I post other videos. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody soon. It's beautiful, it's wonderful, and it's magical. Thanks, guys.